radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny and blustery good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester, looking at some nice sunshine, a little bit of a breeze out there, so we've got a wind chill to contend with right now. Quiet start to the weekend for a lot of folks. Hopefully you did. If you had work to do outside, you had that opportunity. Hopefully you did a lot of work outside, because everybody knew that Saturday night and Sunday was going to be a little messy, and Mother Nature delivered. Then during the day, not a whole lot of snow to contend with at all. But then later on, the lake effect machine really kicked in, and a number of folks did pick up quite a bit of snow as we moved into later on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, and early this morning. The winds obviously having a lot to do with it, because it was lake effect generated coming out of the northeast, the north, and out of the northwest as we move through the overnight hours. And in some cases, we did have folks picking up about a half a foot of snow. Then we saw other individuals literally nothing. And it was just like drawing a line where there was nothing and then there was snow. That's the way lake effect works, and that's the way everything worked out as we moved through the evening hours last night. Road conditions, for the most part, were okay, but we did have a number of roads that were slippery, and they're going to need the sun to warm up, especially if they're asphalt, to warm up a little bit and take that icy coat off of the roadways, because early this morning, the morning drive was a little slick. Matthew, temperature-wise, what are we looking at right now?
Currently, over at the airport, it's sunny at 25. Over in Midland, it's mostly sunny at 28. Here at Radio Center, it's sunny at 27. We have north to northwest winds at 15 miles per hour, gusting up to 21 miles per hour, and our pressure is at 30.13, and it's falling.
Those winds are not going to die down much at all as we move through the day today. Hopefully, with the help of that sun, we should work our way up to the freezing mark, 32, but we'll see a little bit more in the way of cloud cover as we move into the later afternoon. And once again, there is going to be a spotty chance of seeing some snow flurries and snow showers. But again, I want to reiterate, we do have that wind to contend with, and it will be pretty much all day today. Tonight, it'll drop down just a little bit, but still, we're going to have a wind gust out of the west at about 20 miles per hour. Currently, as Matthew said, we're looking at northwesterly. Clouds thicken, especially after midnight tonight, a low of 25. Sun will set this evening at 5:16, rise tomorrow morning at 7:23. And during the day tomorrow, we're going to be looking at cloudy skies, a spotty sprinkle here and there. Snow will be around. I don't think we're going to see much of anything in the way of liquid precipitation, but mostly cloudy. 38 is going to be our high tomorrow, 32 for a low tomorrow night. So if there is any snow on the grassy surfaces, you should begin to see some dissolution of that. So by Wednesday, we'll probably not see any snow around at all. Wednesday, sun as the day goes on. We'll have a cloudy start, 45 for a high, 31 for a low on Wednesday. And along with the warmer temperatures is going to come a wind speed gusting up to 30 miles per hour. So we're not going to go without the wind here for the next few days. Moving into the tail end of the work week, sunshine on Thursday. We'll approach 50 degrees for a high on Thursday. Clear skies with a few clouds on Thursday night, 30 for a low. High pressure over Kentucky is going to be the primary driver for the weather as we go into the day on Thursday. Friday, 50 degrees for a high, 33 for a low. There will be a low pressure system over the Dakotas, and that will be pushing a little bit of moisture at us as we approach and get into the weekend, but it is going to be all liquid. 52 for a high on Saturday, 55 for a high on Sunday. So needless to say, the snow is short-lived, but As anybody can tell, Mother Nature is going to do whatever she's going to do, and look what happened here. That very easily could crop up at a moment's notice. But long range outlook now, we're talking through the 23rd of November. We will be seeing a warming trend, above average on the temperatures through that period, at or maybe a little bit above normal as far as the precipitation goes. Now, overnight last night, Saginaw dropped down to 21. Gladwin was right at 22. Elma at 19, as well as Midland. Caro and the Tawases at 25. Bad Axe at 26. Standish 24. Clare at 20. Houghton Lake dropped down to 17. And again, as far as Gladwin is concerned, we looked also at Mount Pleasant and Flint. They were at 22. Owasso and West Branch coming in at 21 as well. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by today, who do we have, Matthew?
Coming up next, we have Cody Harris from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Roof Max of Saginaw. AskBenHow.com. A little scary over the weekend. Strong gusty winds and snow showers, snow flurry activity. But again, as we said, things are going to be warming up. And as we approach the middle part of November, we are going to be looking at, once again, a chance of seeing liquid precipitation. Still got time for Ben. Yep, AskBenHow.com. You get a hold of him. He'll get you a free roof assessment to give you an idea of what you can anticipate, what you can expect with your roof. Remember, the Roof Max product restores flexibility. It extends the life of the roof. And obviously, you are going to save thousands of dollars and one big headache. It's not a matter of, okay, I need a new roof. You need a roof inspection to tell you what you really need. Maintaining your roof is just like maintaining anything else. It does need attention. And you just can't take a look at the roof and say, hey, this looks kind of bad. No, you got to have somebody go up there and take a look. 989-859-6751. That's the telephone number. AskBenHow.com. Let's check in right now with Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Cody, good morning. How are you?
Doing well. How you guys doing today?
Hey, not too bad. Kind of an interesting week last week, wouldn't you say, Cody?
Yeah, I would say we definitely had kind of a seesaw, kind of up and down week last week. Beginning kind of looked promising. Towards the end, kind of, I would say, kind of pulled back, especially on the corn and wheat side. Soybeans had a little bit of a run up last Friday, and they're definitely continuing that today. So it seems like there's a little optimism in the market to start the week out here this morning, Terry.
Well, I know with that government shutdown where it looks like anything could change at any given moment, that's going to make people feel a little bit better anyway.
Yeah, I would say that's mostly where it's stemming from the guys I'm talking to here. It seems like that's just where it's kind of all coming from. I know that still has to go through like the House for approval and get signed by President Trump, but that's kind of what a lot of people are riding on. There's a little bit of good news that's kind of making this market bump. And looking through some wires here today, it looks like on Friday that we're finally going to get the November WASDE report. So that's kind of adding a little optimism too, finally getting some numbers here. So I think the market's kind of trying to position itself right now ahead of that report on Friday too.
Now, a lot of the government groups are going to be closed for Veterans Day anyway.
That is correct. Yes, on that end. So tomorrow, all the banks and money and all that's not are going to be closed for the observance of Veterans Day, so that'll kind of take a break here on the market. So you could see a little bit of that position squaring just to take a little risk off the board here as we kind of go into the next couple of days. But overall, it definitely seems like there's a little bit more optimism to start the week than we've seen the last couple of weeks.
Well, that's good to hear. So right now on the board, what have you got, Cody?
Yeah, currently I have cash wheat up 4, 517 on the white, 442 on the red. New crop 2026 wheat's up 4 as well, 556 on the white, 471 on the red. Look over at cash and new crop corn, that's up a penny at 364. And then look over at soybeans, cash and new crop soybeans are up 6 at the moment at 1038.
Nice little move.
Oh, yeah, we'll take any kind of movement we can, Terry.
We sure will. You take care, Cody. You have a great day, okay?
You as well. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Will do. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us right now. The market report brought to you by Thumb Bank, serving the needs of agriculture since 1895. They've got 13 locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Farm Report also brought to you by Legendary Tree Care. If you need some trimming done, how about tree removal? You need Legendary Tree Care. No job is too big. No job is too small. They are fully licensed and insured, and they do specialize in those big projects. LegendaryTreeCareMI.com is where you can check them out, or like them on Facebook, Legendary Tree Care. Doug Klein, good morning.
Well, good morning.
Did you get any snow?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just
I'm
enough.
going to tell you what, the road coming into Richville from the east, holy mackerel.
Wasn't that a mess?
Ugly. Yeah,
Oh.
it was ugly.
I mean, this is January driving.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, well, the trucks, a lot of traffic overnight and early this morning.
Mm.
So when yours truly decided to hit the road, and I'm sure when you did, we're on ice. I mean, it's not snow or anything. It's just a sheet of ice, thick ice.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that sun stays out for a while.
I'm thinking it will.
Because we still got, it's still got a little warming effect going on. So I think we ought to be in pretty good shape going home anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about the guys in Chicago? What kind of slippery slope are we working on now?
It's kind of looking, and I won't try not to say it out loud, but optimistic on soybeans. They're not that far away. The March contract is not that far away from a high. 1209 would be a high for that, 80 cents or so. That would bring in a lot of money. A lot of short sellers would have to cover at that point, and that's, billions of dollars in short selling would have to cover. Now, that could be interesting. But other than that, the shutdown kind of sort of maybe sort of going away. Hard to fathom if it does or doesn't, but they say it might. So the Dow is still down a little bit. Everybody made a bounce. S&P made a bounce of about 1%. They're about 0.75% up. The Nasdaq was up 2. They're up 1.2% right now. So not there yet. No new highs there yet. So I just have to wait and see, I guess. But gold's making a decent comeback. The precious metals, obviously. So that's okay, and obviously the grain. So here's your numbers. December corn is 428.25, up a penny. The March corn 443, up a penny. The January soybeans 11.25, up 8 cents. March soybeans 11.34.5, up 8 3/4. The December wheat is 532 3/4, up a nickel, and March wheat 547 1/4, also up a nickel. The crude oil is 59.52, down 23 cents. Heating oil 248.5, up 0.3 of a penny. Gasoline 194 1/4, up 0.2 of a penny. Natural gas is 379, that's down 4 cents. I'm over to currencies. Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.40.29 Canadian, that's down 18 ticks. The dollar buys 154 yen, up 53 ticks. The euro is at 115.48, down 17 ticks. The dollar's at 99.67. That's up 7 ticks. So gold's at 41.03, up $93.20. Silver's 49.91, up $1.76. Platinum is at 15.8340, up $34.30. Copper's at 501.60, up 7.8 cents.
Okay, now no market tomorrow?
I think there's some of the markets are open tomorrow, no bonds tomorrow, but
Okay.
the stock market open.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Talk to you later. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain, your Dairyland seed headquarters. Might be a really good idea to be talking to those folks right now and ordering for next year. Take advantage of any special pricing that might be available to you as well. And of course, any questions you might have, Vic Huffer, he's got the answers to those. Serving you is their business, and they've been doing it since 1983, Freeland Bean and Grain. Let's check in right now with Henne over at Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. A little bit of snow, huh?
A little bit of snow. Interesting. Just not too much. Just a little dusting for us, but we do have a coworker here who lives out in Freeland and got 6 inches. So it's cold.
Yes, it is. And again, it kind of brings up a really important point about having anything that's tender foliage out there that needs some protection, that sort of thing. When you get winds like this, it's quite not only a shock to your system, but a shock to their system.
That is very true. You do, at some point, do need to burlap. We haven't burlapped just yet in our area. We do it mostly to kind of protect our trees from deer damage and from salt spray. And especially because they're above the ground, they do need a little bit more love than some of the trees that are going to be, at someone's property in the ground, happily rooted.
So now is the time that maybe we should be doing some burlapping, Hannah?
You can start. Like I said, we haven't just yet. But yeah, it's okay to do that on some of your arborvitaes that you might be worried about. Right now, the best time is to actually prune oak and elm trees, since we have had that big frost and big, multiple frosts. Because they can be prone to oak wilt and Dutch elm disease when it is warmer. And those, when you prune, when the sap is warm and running, it attracts those disease-causing bugs. And then you're more likely to, kind of contract and spread those diseases, which is why that's kind of what we're looking at right now, is really focusing on pruning up our oaks and elms.
Very good. Hannah, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Take care.
You bet. Hannah over at Bay Landscaping and Garden Center. You put a lot into every acre. More time, more care, more grit. Now, Pivot Bio Proven G3 is helping you get more back with 3 game-changing modes of action that feed more nitrogen, boost nutrient uptake, and amplify yield potential. Proven G3 locks in at the roots to deliver steady nutrition and when and where your corn needs it most. Lock in and see for yourself at pivotbio.com. And if that isn't enough, check out the prices of synthetic nitrogen. Call Don Morris at 989-239-2791 or Allie Teal at 989-780-3770. Let's check in on the sugar beet industry right now and see what's going on. Kevin Messing joining me this morning. Kevin, my guess is a lot of beets are out of the ground right now. What are we looking at?
Yeah, Terry, you have that right. We're down to about 5% of tons left to come into the Michigan sugar gate still. There is a fair number of those that are harvested, some of those beets going straight to the slab that are feeding our factories, but we have a few piler beets to come in yet, and hopefully this cold tease of winter goes away and we get our chance to bring those in here later this week.
Yeah, so right now at this stage of the game, any tips that you want to give our producers?
It's seed selection is coming up. You mentioned it earlier talking about Freeland Bean and Grain, but we have our variety approval meeting later this week and meeting scheduled for the end of November 1st to December for seed meetings. So it's getting to be that time. Time to look at variety performance from last year and start looking at what worked, what didn't, and making plans for next year.
I'm just kind of curious. I know the issues had been about topping this year overall. I know you guys really paid a lot of attention to that.
Yeah, so we saw varying performance overall. Growers really worked hard, and I would say to minimal issues. Definitely an improvement over past years, but in some of those cases where we had some disease or some other factors that affected the evenness of that crop, we did run into a few trouble spots, and sometimes just the weather, a heavy frost or a late dew that hangs on just makes topping a little bit more challenging in the fall.
Yeah.
Overall, big improvement from what we've seen in the past.
Oh, that's great. Now, as far as beets out in the fields yet on the headlands, what are we looking at?
Like I said, I think we have about 6-7% of tons to come in. Not too many to dig, but I think the plan was really by Friday, Saturday, most of those would be in, and growers would be wrapping up. So we're getting very close.
Boy, I guess so. Doesn't take very long, does it, with nice weather?
No, it doesn't. What a stretch we had for harvest. I'm not sure I've seen one in my years here where I think we made it 10, 12 days before our first weather interruption of harvest. So that's hard to beat.
No, and again, we might have had a little bit of rain, but we were so dry for so long. Whatever water we did get went down really quick.
Yeah, absolutely. These late harvest cherries, still seeing really good soil conditions where guys were going right up until the last few days here. We didn't have that mudding season yet. So I think we're there now, but for the majority of beets harvested, soil conditions were really, really nice.
Oh, yeah. Kevin, you take care. We'll talk to you again next week, okay?
Okay, thank you, Terry.
You bet. Kevin Messing over at Michigan Sugar. His report brought to you by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil and Blue Flame Propane. Remember, they'll take you to the top. You do get more power, faster cold starts, maximum lubricity, and up to 8% improved fuel economy with extreme diesel from Power Service. For more information on it, just dial them up online at fosteroil.com or blueflamepropaneinc.com. Yeah, the heating season is here, and it might be a really good idea to check out those pricing and delivery of that propane from Foster and Blue Flame Propane. Supplying fuel, propane, lubricants, diesel exhaust fluid, and energy services for over 80 years. When we return, Matthew, who do we have?
Coming up next, we should have Eric Sawatsky from Yo and Yo.
But before that, here's this.
It's been an unreasonably warm fall. Hard to believe harvest is already here, but that's how it goes. Mother Nature runs the show, and the cycle keeps moving forward. At ACH Seeds, we take the same long view. It takes nearly 10 years to bring a new sugar beet variety to market, and every step of that process is focused on helping your operation grow into the future. From all of us at ACH Seeds, thank you for another season of partnership. We look forward to growing with you.
Sugar beet harvest is a special time of year. The sounds, the smell, and the teamwork are like nothing else. This is Peter Maxwell, your ACH Seeds representative, with a friendly reminder to keep safety a top priority this harvest season. Encourage your crews to stay alert in the field and drive carefully as they deliver this year's crop. You've built an incredible legacy, one worth protecting. Thank you for your continued trust in ACH Seeds.
ACH Seeds, growing with you.
Are you upset with your current planter performance? Are you considering buying a new planter but blown away from sticker shock? With Precision Planting's VSET, V-Drive, and Delta Force, we can retrofit your old planter to outperform any new planter on the market. Then access all your data from planting to harvest easily with Field View. Call PC Ag Solutions today and get your parts ordered, installed, and ready to go for the upcoming growing season. 989-868-4444. PC Ag Solutions. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Rummel Insurance Agency. Remember, they do understand the risks that you face as a Michigan farm and agribusiness owner. That's why they want to get to know you one-on-one so they can get the right farm insurance protection for you and your family. Call them up today. Set up an appointment in Frankenmuth, Saginaw, and Carroll, the Amo Rummel Insurance Agency. Along with me, Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting. And Eric, let's continue to talk a little bit about taxes and 1040s and all that stuff. Understand, though, there's some changes to charitable tax?
There are, Terry, coming up in January of 2026, there's going to be a new charitable deduction. So for those folks that aren't able to itemize deductions, the standard deduction has been better for them for a number of years now. There's going to be a new deduction. Even if you aren't able to itemize, you will just be able to deduct this off of your taxable income. So it's going to be $1,000 or up to $1,000 per individual, or $2,000 for a couple filing jointly. So what's going to be a lot different for a number of people who haven't been able to deduct charity for a long time. They're going to want to start to track that again, at least up to that $1,000 or $2,000 mark, because you're going to need to have some kind of support to be able to take that deduction. But it looks like that's going to be a new part of the law going forward. Every year, even if you don't itemize, you'll be able to take up to $1,000 for single or $2,000 married, right off of your taxable income. So that'll pretty much impact everyone. And then for those that are a little closer to being able to itemize, there are some changes coming up that might actually make it more difficult. The higher your income is, there's going to be more limits on how much you can deduct for charity, for giving to charity. So if you're close, or you might benefit from bunching some deductions yet in 2025 while the tax law stays the same, this is probably a good year to at least talk to your tax advisor before year end. Think about any charitable giving you're planning for the next few years and see when and how is the best way to do that.
Boy, by the sounds of it, it might be a really good idea for a lot of folks to be checking with folks like you before the end of the year with some of these changes.
Yeah, I would say this is the first year in quite a while. There's just so many things. Almost everyone's been affected by something in the new law. So yeah, great time to sit down and really think about that before year end.
Very good, Eric. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again next week.
Sounds great, Terry.
All righty. Eric Sawatsky with Yo and Yo Accounting. We'll be right back.
At Beta Seed, there's a science to breeding confidence. Each hybrid we release represents a decade of research and testing designed to drive yields, manage disease, and perform in your region and on your farm. Our breeders never stop pushing for what's next, creating hybrids that deliver more value with every generation. Because confidence isn't claimed, it's proven. Learn more at betaseed.com. Beta Seed, breeding confidence.
Imagine a force so powerful it can move mountains. One propelled by a group of individuals with a shared purpose. That's what makes the agricultural industry different. The unstoppable spirit that binds us. We cultivate innovation and unite under a shared purpose, all in the pursuit of progress. Since 1937, Bex has sought to honor God each day in our commitment to help farmers succeed and leave a lasting mark on the world around us. We look forward to standing beside you for seasons to come, working as one to become unstoppable together.
Lots more coming up at the bottom of the hour. Next hour, of course, we'll be touching base on those prices, give you an update on that, and also an update on the weather, because the weather is really going to be changing with this cold air. This cold air is dropping all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico and Miami tomorrow night. It's going to be 18, or I should say 48 degrees, and for them, that's cold. Back at 12:30, now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This